What the heck is an aardvark anyways? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Johnny and I am a zookeeper. Obviously, by my video and my thumbnail, you know what animal we're talking about. So first, what the heck is an aardvark anyways? Pig-like nose, rabbit-like ears, kangaroo-like tail. Is it a pibaroo? Rabigaroo? I don't know. These animals are native to sub-Saharan Africa, and the name aardvark means earth pig in the Afrikaans language. While they are technically ant eaters, they're not ant eaters that you find in South America. In fact, they're not even related to them. They're actually in a group of animals or a clade of mammals called Afrotheria that include animals like elephants and manatees. Actual anteaters belong to xenarthrans, which include animals like sloths and armadillos. WINSOL loves to eat his insectivore, which is just a complete feed that's formulated for insectivores. It has all the nutrition that they need, and it's for animals that consume large amounts of insects. Aardvarks will use those massive claws to dig into termite mounds and even underground ant nests, and they can eat up to 50 to 60,000 ants or termites in a single night. That is a lot of bugs. They have long, sticky, worm-like tongues that they use to be able to slurp up and grab all of those termites and ants. They also can close up their nostrils to protect their snout from all of that dust while they're digging and all of the insects. A lot of people actually ask me if WINSOL is soft when they see images of him or videos. While his snout is pretty smooth, the rest of him is really thick. He has thick skin and kind of coarse hair, but it's pretty thin, and that's to protect himself whenever he digs into things like termite mounds, because termites will go on the defense and they'll go try to bite that skin, but it's so thick that it doesn't even phase the armadillo. Not the armadillo, it doesn't even phase the aardvark. They don't just use their claws for finding food. These guys are nocturnal animals and they need someplace to hunker down in the heat of the day. So they'll use those massive claws to dig underground burrows where they live. And aardvarks aren't the only ones that actually use these. These guys are a keystone species, and there are other animals like jackal, porcupines, and hyenas that will rely on the burrows the aardvarks actually make. According to the African Wildlife Foundation, aardvarks can actually dig up to 2 feet in about 15 seconds. That is freaky fast. Kind of like Jimmy John's. The last thing I want to talk about is their size. A lot of people will see aardvarks and be shocked that this is an actual animal, because they're one of those animals that a lot of people don't think are real, or maybe like they existed once upon a time but not anymore. But they're here. We have WINSOL to show you. But they are in fact real animals, and when people actually see them in real life, they're shocked at how big they were. I can remember the first time I ever saw one when I was visiting a zoo, and I was like flabbergasted at the size. So WINSOL actually hangs out around 125 pounds, but they generally will range anywhere from about 100 pounds to 180 pounds. So WINSOL is like semi on the lower side, but he also is only about 2 years old. He just turned 2 in December, and thankfully he can potentially live into his early 20s, so WINSOL will still be around for a long while. And right now aardvarks are listed as least concern according to the IUCN Red List, but unfortunately to them being solitary, people aren't even really sure what their population trend is right now. So nobody really knows if their population is increasing or decreasing. But like any animal, they do face some issues, generally regarding to us. For aardvarks, their issues are being hunted and habitat loss due to human population growth. And again, like I've said in previous videos, learning about animals like aardvarks and spreading awareness is some of the first steps that you can take to saving that animal. So hopefully we never get to a point where aardvarks become endangered, because again, I did mention that they're keystone species. So if they're an animal that becomes endangered, and if they do happen to become extinct, that means that's a lot of trouble for other animals that rely on things like their burrows, because then they don't have any way to hide or protect themselves without these aardvark holes or burrows. I keep wanting to say armadillo. So if you would like to help armadillos, like I said, you're doing the first thing by learning about them. You can raise awareness and just talk to other people about them. Let people know that aardvarks are a real thing, because again, that's something that a lot of people are kind of surprised by. If you visit your local zoo, especially if it's an AZA accredited zoo, always just do your research before you go to a zoo to make sure that it's a good one. And part of the money that you spend to get into the zoo will go back to conservation efforts, or you can look up specific conservation organizations. One of them that I mentioned earlier is the African Wildlife Foundation, and that group actually goes out and works with the community that live in aardvark habitats and teaches them about aardvarks, why they are important, and they teach them sustainable agricultural practices to help protect the aardvark and its habitat. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I obviously have a lot more information to share with you guys about any other animals or aardvarks, especially whenever it gets a lot nicer outside and all of us can start working together again after this pandemic hopefully blows over soon. Maybe I can do another video featuring one of WINSOL's primary trainers and get a lot more information to you guys about WINSOL specifically, because I know he already has a huge following. He actually came from the Cincinnati Zoo before he came over here to Nashville. Well, thank you guys again so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay home and stay safe.